Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another haul. I just got back from New York this past week and I did a decent amount of shopping while I was there because you have to when you go to New York. It's just kind of part of it. So I made sure my suitcase was 15 pounds under what the weight it needed to be to fly, so that way I could buy 15 pounds worth of stuff. Bought like 11 pounds worth of stuff. So I've got a decent amount of stuff to show you. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right in. So as you guys know, I have a shoe obsession. And with how New York is, they have stores like for every brand of shoes. So there's like an Adidas store, there's a Vans store. And when I say store, I'm talking two-level store, 2 to 3 level store with like an escalator in the middle of it. Like, they're amazing. So I went into the Vans store the first day and I had to buy a pair of Vans because it's a Vans store. So I've actually been trying to decide what ones I wanted to get for a while and been looking at the higher top style because all mine are like the lower ankle ones. And I wanted something that would go with a lot, but I didn't want black. So I ended up with these guys here. They're like a taupey brown color, so they've got a little bit of a gray tint to them, so they look good with both like black and brown colors. Super stoked about these, and they're almost like a suede material, so they're pretty dope and I love them. So that same day, that first day, we ended up going to like Times Square and everything, and my phone is a piece of garbage and it is so old the battery is dying super fast. So we hopped into Five Below, and again they have an escalator in the middle of theirs, and I don't know why there was a Five Below where there was, but we were just walking by. I was like, oh my gosh, I need a phone charger. So we went in. So I got like one of the little power box chargers to keep in my purse, and those things are amazing. I don't know why I don't always have them with me because I had my phone plugged into that 90% of the time we were on our trip and my phone did not die. So it saved my butt. So while I was also there, I got another phone case, and this one's super cute. It's just like a little scenic stitched design into denim, but it was like $2. So I got this, and then also, you all know I had to get a pair of earrings while I was there. They're super cute. They're not as heavy as they look. They're pretty light, but they're very extra, and you guys know I love my big earrings, so I was super stoked when I saw these. The first time I went to New York, I was freezing to death the whole time because it was the end of March, and I live in Indiana, and I was like, it's like in the 60s, I'll be alright with like 50s, 60s, I'll be alright with like a light jacket. I'm like, they're almost the same distance from the equator, like I'll be good. It's about the same kind of temperature here as it is there. Oh my gosh, it was like 20 degrees there, and I had to buy a coat and boots and all of that. So this time I was like, alright, it's December, it's going to be freezing, and I need to bring all my heaviest stuff. So I brought sweaters and like my heaviest fur coat and my boots, and it was like in the 50s. I was sweating to death, but it was too cold to not wear a coat. So here I am in my heavy fur coat dying of a heat stroke. So I decided I wanted to get something a little bit lighter weight, but still have a little bit of something to it. And we were walking in Forever 21. If you've ever been to Forever 21 in New York, you know it's like 3 stories tall with like at least 3 escalators in it. I think it's actually 4 or 5 stories tall. I don't know, it's ridiculous. It just keeps going down. Like, it's, instead of being tall, there's like several levels below ground, which I don't know how that all worked with building it, but it's pretty cool. And I found this like kimono thing. So it's like a really thick wool kind of a texture, and it's got like a suede edging on it. It's like an oversized rectangle thing that just like drapes over you. So the second day we went to Chinatown and walked around a little bit there, and I didn't get a whole lot while I was in Chinatown, but it was raining so freaking much while we were there, and I was sick of getting rain all over my face and it messing up my makeup. So we went into this little shop in Chinatown where they make all their own like labels and like sayings and patches and everything, and they put them on like hats. They'll make purses with different logos on it, socks, like those funny meme socks. So I got this hat while I was there. I was like, this is perfect for me. I love the little scenic view on it, but it's like a trucker style hat, and it actually is big enough to fit over my hair, which never happens. So I was like, it fits over my hair, I'm buying it. And I wore this like 3 out of the 4 days we were there because of all the rain we had. The third day we went to Bryant Park, and if you're not super familiar with New York, it's not too far from like Times Square and like all the big stuff that goes on. But it's like this little park area that's got a skating rink, like a ice skating rink, a free one in the middle of it. And it's got these little like glass cabins. But the glass cabins are open November, December, and people buy them and they set up their shops inside. There was a ton of like different homemade little things and like smaller businesses. So I actually ended up finding somebody that takes like leaves and dries them and then sand freezes them or whatever, however that works, and then dips them in metal. And this is dipped in copper. It is incredible. Here, let me zoom you in so you can see it. Like, look at how incredible this is. Like, you can see all the spine and everything on it, and it's reflecting like purple tones and red tones. I was obsessed and had to get one. And that is from a company called Friction Jewelry. They've got all the different meanings of all the leaves, and they give you like a description of everything. It is stunning, and that one just took the cake when I saw it. So we also did some makeup shopping while we were there. There's a MAC on Times Square, and it's pretty elaborate, very glitzy. It wasn't super crowded because it was like midnight when we went. And so I went in and got a couple things there, and you guys know how much I love their foundation, and this one is my favorite one that they have. It's the MAC Face and Body. The reason why this is my favorite is because it's like sweat proof, waterproof, and it is a very sheer coverage. So rather than covering all your freckles and your redness and your imperfections, it just blurs it to where it makes your skin look more airbrushed, but it doesn't look like makeup has been caked on it. So absolutely love this, and this huge like 4-ounce thing of foundation was like 40 bucks. So you can't really go wrong. So I go up to checkout, and they have all those little like miniature, like deluxe mini sizes of their products. So I got their pigment in vanilla, and oh my gosh, guys, it's so pretty. My hand is too freaking pale. I tried to swatch it for you guys. I'll just use it in a video so you can see it, but I really like the finish it has. It's a very nice iridescent like opal kind of a look to it. It reflects a little bit more of a golden tone than it does of a purple, like the one I have on right now. So this I'm actually going to use as a face highlighter and an eyeshadow. But we also went to Inglot, which is on Times Square, and we don't have any Inglot stores in Indiana. I don't think many places do have Inglot stores. I think they're very random on where they're placed, like in New York and London, and like maybe LA have a location. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that they're not very common to actually have a store because mostly they're online. But I went in and got a couple products. So first of all, this is freaking huge. It's a loose powder highlighter, and it's actually the one I have on today, and it's in their color 06. And look at how freaking iridescent I am. I feel like a dewy glazed donut. It is giving me life, and I've worn it almost every day since I've got it, and a little bit goes a long way, so I'll probably have this until I die. But I love this highlighter so much. Then I was in need of a new concealer, and I wanted to try one of theirs out, so I got their All Covered concealer in the shade 11, and it's a super thick concealer, but a little bit goes a long way, so I just do a little dot underneath my eyes, and it usually conceals this whole area. So I'm guessing that this will last me quite a while, but I've liked it so far and haven't dealt with any creasing, and it averages like the same amount as MAC as far as like cost wise. So I also built myself a little palette. I got the 5 shade palette, and I love how they're magnetic, so you can just take the lid off and it's totally out of your way. But I wanted to create something that was different than anything I had. I picked all shades that I did not have a single one like it. So I got this really pretty like satin rose gold with a lavender tint to it. It is a metallic. I have it on today. I didn't really light today and just kind of diffused it into the orange. But it is stunning, especially if you do it wet. It gives you like a metallic kind of a look to the rose gold. And then this one next to it is a like pearlescent like aquamarine color, so it does a little bit of reflecting of green in there, and it is beautiful. And then I got a matte denim color. I wanted to do a look actually with this kind of a color a while back, and I looked through all 50 million of my palettes and could not find it, so when I saw that they had this shade, I was like, give it to me now. And then I got a really pretty, like, bright burnt orange. I have a couple of burnt oranges, but they're more on the brown side of things. And then I have, like, stark oranges, but I don't have anything that's this level of depth. So that was another one I grabbed. And then this one over here, it is more of a chocolate shade of brown, but it's super, super dark and deep. I feel like a lot of the chocolate shades I have are like good for blending in the crease, but they're not good for the actual dark part of a smoky eye or deepening of the outside of a crease, especially with like this color family. So with the tone that it actually gives off, it could go with more of the cool tones or more of the warm tones. So that was kind of the whole design behind building this palette for myself. And I wish I could tell you the shadow names I got, but I already threw away the boxes and I don't have a magnet strong enough to get these out. Last but not least, I did splurge and I got myself a pair of Doc Martens. I've been eyeballing this pair of shoes for way too long and I just hadn't bought them because in Indiana we just have Journeys, which is great, but they only have like 6 different styles of the women's Doc Martens, and they didn't carry this one, so I didn't want to buy it online and not like it and have to deal with shipping it back and getting new sizes, and I just didn't want to deal with the headache that is. So I decided I was just going to get them because I tried them in store, and actually the ones I was going to get didn't fit me, so I'm glad I did it that way. But I got these guys here. They are platform on the bottom, and let me see what style these are. They are the Rometti style of Doc Martens, just so you guys know if you're looking them up, but they are more of a platform on the bottom. This is black as well as this, and this is a matte black. A lot of their bottoms of their shoes have more of like that tan look, but these are solid black. It has the yellow stitching on it, and it's got the elastic up the side, and they're a softer leather material, so I feel like I don't get sore on my ankles, because a lot of times with this style of boot, they do rub on your ankles. And since they were new and I wanted to wear them in New York, I did go ahead and buy a pair of socks from Doc Martens just so I could wear them without dealing with any rubbing on my ankles, just because I was breaking them in. But I'm excited because they didn't irritate them, so looking forward to wearing them in the future. Yeah, that is everything I got other than the pair of Doc Marten socks. I didn't grab them to show you, but they're like yellow and black bumblebee socks, and I felt pretty awesome in them. But yeah, so that is everything I got while I was in New York. I had a lot of fun with the gal I went with, and it was a great experience. It was the second time I'd been, but I stayed in Soho rather than by Times Square this time, and I definitely like staying in Soho a lot. I feel like there's a lot more unique places around that area, and it's a lot more artistic. Next time I really would like to go and visit Brooklyn. I just didn't have time, and a lot of people told me that I would love it because it's almost like the hipster part of town. Let me know in the comments down below if you've been in New York, or if you're from New York, or if you live in New York, and where you are from, because, you know, I like to be creepy and know all that stuff about you. Yeah, so that's everything I got. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you like the kind of fashion hauls. I really want to do a lookbook. It's just finding the time and the ability to film one, and having somebody who actually knows what they're doing behind a camera help me out with that. So I'm trying to do a little bit more in the fashion side of things for you guys, because you guys have been asking and asking for that for a long time. So make sure you check me out on Instagram, because I do have a lot more fashion stuff on there and a lot more life updates. I'll probably post some pictures of my vacation and such so you guys can see what I'm doing. So you don't have to go so long without seeing any of my stuff. But yeah, make sure you check me out on all my social media. I have Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Snapchat. All the names and links are in the description box for you guys. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!